And two companies are rolling out recalls this afternoon after contaminants were found in two types of chicken nuggets. Purdue is recalling some of its chicken nuggets as well. Purdue Foods is recalling its refrigerated Fun Shapes chicken breast nuggets. So listen up, check your refrigerators and freezers. Tyson Foods is recalling 36,000 pounds of chicken nuggets.
Your body is a battlefield, whether you realize it or not. Every mission requires strength, focus, and stamina. But what if the food on your plate is quietly taking you out of the fight? Processed meats like cheap ham slices or frozen nuggets aren't just junk food. For men past 30, they can silently chip away at heart health, energy levels, and even mental clarity. Today, we'll expose the 10 meats that sabotage performance and the 10 that fortify it. Because readiness doesn't start on the battlefield, it starts at the dinner table. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine walking into a battle where every weapon you carry is unreliable, loaded with blanks instead of real firepower. That, in essence, is what happens when a body is fueled by heavily processed meats. They promise strength, but deliver weakness. Packages advertise quick protein and convenience. Nuggets shaped into neat bites, shiny slices of ham sealed for longer shelf life. Sausages pre-cooked and ready in minutes. Yet behind that promise sit fillers, starch powders, binders, and hidden sodium, quietly cutting down the very nutrition they claim to give. The labels are designed to look clean, but the reality inside tells another story, one written for profit and speed, never for lasting endurance.
And two companies are rolling out recalls this afternoon after contaminants were found in two types of chicken nuggets. Purdue is recalling some of its chicken nuggets as well. Purdue Foods is recalling its refrigerated Fun Shapes chicken breast nuggets. So listen up, check your refrigerators and freezers. Tyson Foods is recalling 36,000 pounds of chicken nuggets.
Nuggets are often marketed as a lean protein choice. The serving looks respectable, the golden breading feels familiar, and the advertising assures parents or seniors that they're getting good value. But inside, many batches are swollen with cornstarch or textured vegetable protein. This inflates the weight while robbing the content of real animal protein. The difference matters because where you expect 20 grams of protein, you might actually receive only 12. That's a 40% cut in the fuel meant to sustain muscle.
In their chicken, that should not be in there. The recall includes fully cooked panko nuggets packed in 5-pound bags sold since November 26th, possibly contaminated with rubber. The company says some people found tiny pieces of soft blue plastic.
Older adults who already fight natural losses in muscle mass end up consuming inflated calories with weakened benefit. Hidden fillers don't just lower strength, they also bring digestive side effects. Bloating, stomach upset, or fatigue after what should have been a satisfying meal is not random, it's engineered into the product. Value brand hams behave in the same way. Processors add water to stretch the meat, phosphates to lock in that extra liquid, and sodium nitrite to give color, flavor, and the illusion of freshness. Slices may appear moist and pink, but the truth is a rubbery texture padded by chemicals. Low-sodium versions substitute one problem with another, turning to enhancers or acidic flavors to cover what was removed. Seniors often find even moderate servings raise blood pressure or strain the kidneys, but the packaging never highlights this downside. After a few slices in a sandwich, blood pressure readings can climb, a subtle effect that grows over time until it turns into a much bigger issue. Sausages sealed in plastic sleeves and sold as easy weeknight fixes are no different. They hold long shelf lives by design, packed with stabilizers that prevent decay. What also stays locked in are excess phosphates, nitrates, and salt. These aren't flavors, they are preservation chemicals. Each one asks the kidneys to filter harder, steals calcium from the bones, and slowly drains overall resilience. Aging bodies feel this as constant fatigue, stiffness in the joints, and bouts of bloating that seem unrelated to diet. Yet the timeline fits. These are meats built for warehouses and convenience shelves, not for internal strength or efficient recovery. Even foods people believe are safer, like frozen fish fillets, bring the same hidden traps. Many are pre-fried in industrial oil, flash frozen, and delivered to stores already stuffed with starch and stabilizers. The fish content is often far less than expected, while the sodium from coatings can reach half the daily recommended maximum in a single meal. Consumers think they are choosing lean fish, but what lands on the fork is often oxidized fat and low-value starch, spiking blood sugar and fueling inflammation. Pair that with commonly used soybean or canola oils, and it's easy to see why older adults complain of lingering sluggishness or swelling in the joints after dinner. Bacon and hot dogs complete the cycle of deceptive comfort foods. Branded strips with fake smoke flavoring rely on nitrates and chemical smoke compounds that irritate digestion while pushing pressure levels upward. Hot dogs stretch meat even further, relying on mechanically separated scraps blasted off bone. One hot dog alone can bring close to a day's salt and fat in one serving, while adding very little that the body can actually use. Older consumers often find after effects in the form of heaviness, impaired digestion, or swelling. Behind the taste lies an industrial shortcut designed for volume, not health. Studies tracking adults over 40 reinforce what families sense but don't always trace. Processed ham and other daily processed meats link to higher cardiovascular risks. The repeated intake of salt, nitrates, and fillers builds quietly over decades until arteries harden and pressure spikes. If what should supply clean energy instead hands your body extra weight, strain, and fatigue, you can expect performance to falter, whether on the treadmill, in the workplace, or even across day-to-day tasks. The danger is not meat itself. The true threat is decades of shortcuts layered into products that appear normal on the shelves. Knowing that difference is the advantage. Real strength does not come from processed shortcuts. It comes from cuts and choices that remain close to their natural source. So the question is this: if these comfort foods can quietly dismantle the very systems they promise to support, then what meats actually reinforce performance and keep the body ready? The answer lies in cleaner, simpler options that act like reliable weapons in a daily arsenal. Foods that fortify, not sabotage. The body is not defended by chance. It holds or breaks depending on what fuels it. True protein fortifies while shortcuts weaken, leaving gaps in strength and focus. Meals need command, not carelessness. Rotisserie chicken, sardines, or grass-fed liver do more than feed. They prepare you daily. Sardines deliver dense calcium and healthy fats that support bones and memory. Bone broth restores joints and digestive strength when slow-cooked from real stock. These choices work like strategy, not impulse. The path to victory and health is not removing meat, but selecting it with precision. Every bite is another move toward endurance.